So welcome back to my channel. As you can tell from the description box, it is time to do some empties today. As usual, I've got a lot of empties to talk about, and the last couple of times I've been doing the grab bag where I've just got my big giant bag of empties and I just, sort of randomly pick out empty products and talk to you guys about them. Today I have actually completely organized them all, actually by groupings of product type, because I've got so many to get through and I figured that I would get through them a lot faster if I actually was organized today. So we're gonna try it this way, sort of how I used to do it. So let's jump right in and we're gonna talk about body products first. And I got through a couple of staples here, and this is the Alfafia Authentic African Black Soap and the Everyone soap, and this is their coconut lemon. Both of these are staples. Usually I get the tangerine scent. I think I've had 2 or 3 bottles of this. I decided to go for something different and try the peppermint. This is a family product. Both of these are family products. My boys use this as well. And I think I like the tangerine one better. I think I'll get that one next. And I want to say that this pump here that I have does not typically come with this bottle. It's just a cap, a twist off cap that you flip up and then have to squeeze out the product. I definitely prefer a pump. This is from, I can't even remember what product this was from, but luckily I saved it and it fits perfectly on this. So I don't know why they don't have a pump on their bigger bottle. I think they have a pump on their smaller bottle, which seems like it should be the opposite. But anyway, you can get this off Vitacost. I think I have to specially order this from New Seasons, which is the local market I tend to shop at most frequently. And then this one is the coconut lemon. I constantly rotate the scents. I think I have like the, I don't know, I think I have a mint coconut one going now, and I also have a cedar one that I rotate through. There is phenoxyethanol in this. It's one of the last ingredients, so that if that is an ingredient that you are very, very strict about, then you're going to want to avoid this. But in, and I typically do avoid that for the most part, but in body washes, I'm okay with it. So these are 2 products that I always have, and they're staples of mine, so I will be repurchasing these again, obviously. Another product that I went through again, and this is just sort of a sad looking wrapper. This is the Saipua bar soap in salt water. They're very expensive. I think they run about $18 for a bar of soap. One good thing is they do last forever, and I love that, with the packaging, you just throw this in the recycling. This, my favorite scent of theirs is the tangerine sandalwood, but I don't know if they're making it anymore. The last couple of times that I've looked on their website and on Beauty Habit carries it, and I think Folane carries them, I have not been able to find the tangerine sandalwood. So that's why I tried this saltwater scent. And this is very very herbal, has just such a beautiful scent, and it's very refreshing, kind of like a basil-y herbal, woodsy scent, and I really, really loved it, and I will definitely be getting this again. Another bath product is the Wild Abundance bath salts from Lotus Way. This was something that I got in the Citrine Beauty Glam bag or something. It was a really, really nice gift with purchase. There's a couple products in here that I have in my empties that were from that Glam bag. I actually did not really enjoy these bath salts. I much prefer the Captivator Love Bath, which I talked about in my little haul video that I did at Cat Beauty when I was in New York. This was just okay for me. Didn't really love it. The scent is actually a little bit like on the thin side. It's not very full bodied. Like I said, I really prefer the Captivator Love Bath, which is more like neroli and sandalwood. This to me is just kind of like I said, a sort of a thin jasmine-y scent. So I would not go out of my way to purchase the Wild Abundance scent in the bath salts, and I probably wouldn't either in any of the other, like the sprays that, that they do, or the oils. I have an empty of Epsom salt, and this is something that I always have in my bathroom. I usually have 2 bags going because I never want to be without it. I love taking Epsom salt baths. I find them very relaxing and very good for healing sore muscles, which I tend to have sore muscles frequently. Another bath or body product, I should say, that I have an empty of is the Flourish Sugar Body Polish, and this is in the scent Lavender Mint. This is a really great body polish. I really love the body polishes that have sugar in it because I really like how it just kind of melts on your skin. So as you're doing the rubbing and the exfoliating, I like how the sugar just kind of melts away, and then you're just left with the beautiful oils on your skin. So I really do like the Lavender Mint scent in the lotion. I really, you know, I liked it in this body polish, but I think I would actually prefer the body polish in maybe the rosewood scent that she makes. It was okay for me in the body polish, but for some reason I just think that I would prefer the rosewood scent, which I really love in, you know, in all of the products that Kirsten makes. But yeah, I mean, I really loved it. I think this is a fantastic body polish, but I think in the future I would like to try it in a different scent. That's all. Moving on to a body oil. This is the Laurel Whole Plant Organics body oil in California. This is fantastic. I really love this body oil. I think it's beautiful. It has incredible plant oils in here, and as you probably know from when I've talked about her products in the past, everything is just super high quality, super fresh, as the name suggests, whole plant ingredients in here. And I think the other one she makes is I think it's called the Sun Damage Body Oil, and I prefer the California one, although I think it's either in the process of being reformulated or it already has been reformulated, but she's doing kind of a rebranding with her packaging, which I think hasn't quite happened yet. I could be wrong on that, but it is quite expensive. So this is one of those things that's just a very special product. Wouldn't always have this in rotation necessarily. This would just be sort of like a very special treat that I would purchase for myself or maybe ask for as a gift, because I'm not like a huge body oil person. I much prefer creams and lotions, and when I do use body oils, I tend to add them to a lotion because I don't know, I don't really find that body oils just in and of themselves tend to do the full moisturizing that I want them to. I don't know. For some reason, the sort of doing an emulsion with the lotion just seems to be kind of that perfect blend of the oil and the lotion together. It just works really well for me. So anyway, I really love this product. I highly recommend it if you're a body oil person. But as for this product being in constant rotation for me or being a staple, it's definitely not. Just more of a special treat for me if I were to get this again in the future. Another body product that is a complete staple for me is the Dr. Hauschka Rose Deodorant. If you saw my Instagram recently, I posted that this is definitely my favorite deodorant, bar none. I have tried so many natural deodorants, and I think I'm going on about 10 years with this product, maybe even longer. I love that it's a roll-on. I love that it has this glass container so that I can recycle it. I just pop off. This is really easy to pop off, and then you just rinse it out, put it in the recycling. I know that everybody's body chemistry is completely unique and different. So I know for some people this just does not work for them, but it works really well for me. So I love it. And if you also saw my Instagram stories recently, and I've posted this several times, that I do DIY deodorant for my husband because he loves the DIY deodorant, which is just coconut oil, baking soda, and arrowroot powder, and I do add in a little bit of essential oil for the scent. He loves it. It works great for him. It works just okay for me. It's not my favorite. It doesn't work as, unfortunately, because it's super cost effective and really easy to make. It doesn't work as well for me as the Dr. Hauschka deodorant. But that is another deodorant that we have in our household. One other deodorant that I want to talk about is the Living Libations Cream Deodorant. I do have a full size of this. This is a sample that I got from Beauty Habit that I finished, and I have tried 2 scents. This one, I can't remember the name of it. I'll put it down below. I think one is called Charm. It's the 2 woodsy scents. I think they also have they have 3 of them. One of them is a rose one, and then 2 are like more woodsy, kind of like sandalwoody and Palo Santo, I think, in them. So they're the more like woodsy resinous fragrances or scented ones. And so I have a full size that my husband has now in his bathroom. So that's why it's not up here and it's not empty. And then the other scent is in here, and that is empty. And it works really well, actually. It's, you know, in terms of keeping away the bad smells under the pits, it works very well for me. It's just that after a while, I got kind of tired of the scent, and it really like would smell up my clothes, and it just got to be too overwhelming and too much for me. So I personally would not be getting this again for myself, but we're gonna see, you know, if my husband ends up liking it, if it works for him in terms of the smell, if he likes it or not. But it is very, very effective. So if you, oh, and I want to say that I do want to try the rose one. So I might ask for a sample of that in a future Beauty Habit order. So yeah, it is effective. It worked really well with my body chemistry. It's just after a while, I didn't really dig the scent so much. So I do want to try the rose one. So what I wanted to say is I do think it's worthwhile to give the Living Libations cream deodorant a try because the packaging is nice, because the bottom part, the jar part, is glass, so that's recyclable. And I'm sorry that I'm talking so fast, but I really want to get through all this stuff. Moving to another Living Libations product is their Happy Gumdrops oil. You know, it's basically, I know it's not a toothpaste, obviously, it's a tooth oil, I guess is what you call this. And I really, really like this as well. It's an interesting experience to brush your teeth with oil, basically essential oils, if you've never done that before, which I never had. I've never done the oil pulling thing with coconut oil. So this was my first experience with that. Actually, this is not my first experience. This is just the first time I'm ever talking about it. I think this is maybe my third one that I've gone through. I've just never included it in an Empties video. And I really, really like it. It's kind of on the expensive side, but you only need a few drops on your toothbrush. And I really love how it makes my teeth feel. They feel really clean, they feel really slick, really nice for freshening your breath. And I have actually had my teeth cleaned a couple times after I've had this in my rotation, and I haven't had any, you know, had like the hygienist say, what are you doing differently, or what's going on with your teeth? They really don't look like they're in good shape. So I feel like this does a really good job. You know, if you're a good toothbrusher and you do floss your teeth, which I do floss my teeth twice, usually, well, definitely once a day, sometimes even more. So I do recommend these. And oh yeah, and I did also try the Living Libation. I know I'm talking a lot about Living Libations here. I'm not like this big huge fan or proponent of Living Libations. It's just turning out to be that way, that I'm talking about a lot of Empties here. I also did try their charcoal toothpaste, and I did like this as well. So do recommend the charcoal toothpaste from Living Libations. But the toothpaste that I actually do use the most is the Tom's Botanically Bright, and this is their SLS-free, fluoride-free toothpaste, and I believe it's the only one that is SLS-free and fluoride-free from Tom's. Now, probably it's not like my favorite, like, oh my God, I love it, I worship it, you know, the David's toothpaste, but that's probably my favorite natural toothpaste. But I think they jacked up their price now to $10. I don't remember it being $10. And I mean, that just feels really expensive to me to pay for, even if you do have like a 15% off code. And I also don't really love that, you know, you've got to order it and have it shipped to you. So this I can just grab at my local, you know, Fred Meyer, and it's usually pretty cheap there, and, you know, whatever, plus minus with Tom's. But you know, sometimes you got to go with the convenience and the cost effectiveness when it comes to something that you go through as much as toothpaste, especially with it being a family product. So there you go. That's what I usually use for toothpaste. And then I might rotate in something like a Living Libations, you know, tooth oil every once in a while. But I have to say, I actually haven't repurchased that for many months. So it's not like I'm dying to get that, or I'm going to place a special Living Libations order to get either the charcoal toothpaste or that tooth oil, I keep wanting to say toothpaste oil from them anytime soon. So I do have some hair products here to talk about. I can't remember if I mentioned the Avalon Organics Nourishing Lavender Shampoo. I think maybe that was in my last empties. I can't remember. This is their conditioner. Really like this. Did a great job. Kind of wanted to get some other alternatives going there so I could just buy shampoo and conditioner locally. Definitely like this one. Did a good job in terms of when I want to, you know, because conditioner for me also is a detangler. That's when I comb out my hair. It's the only time I comb out my hair is in the shower when I have conditioner in it, and it did the trick for that and didn't weigh down my hair too much. I like the smell, so thumbs up for that one. I would definitely get that again. But you know, my favorite really is the Flourish line. This is the lavender mint, so really like the smell, the lavender mint smell for their hair care. This is the shampoo. Love the shampoo. It's just so silky, foams up nicely, doesn't strip my hair, doesn't weigh it down too much. I just love Flourish so much for their hair care, and the shampoo is a favorite, the conditioner is a favorite. Love, love, love it, as you guys know. And I do have a code down below that you can use if you want to check out Flourish, and it's not an affiliate code, it's just for you guys to enjoy. And speaking of Flourish, this was a new product for me to try that Kirsten sent to me. This is their Rosewood Infusion and Angelica Deep Conditioning Cream. So this is a relatively new Flourish product. I loved this. This was great. And since it is a conditioning cream, I really focused on my ends. So I would use like a different conditioner around the front, and then I would focus on my ends with this, and then leave this in the shower and, you know, do something else like shave or whatever. And love the smell. As I had mentioned to you guys before, the rosewood smell is one of my favorites from her. And yeah, so just huge thumbs up if you do need some deep conditioning. You know, if you have thick, wavy or curly hair, it might not be the best for thin or fine hair. It might weigh it down too much. And it comes in this pump bottle. The only downside, of course, is the recycling situation. I don't think anybody would be able to recycle this. There's no number underneath here. So the only thing I would say is possibly if it could be in a different type of recycling bottle. I'm not too sure if maybe Kirsten wanted to make sure it was airtight, but different packaging I think would be preferable so that you could recycle this. But regardless, lovely, lovely product. I really like what's inside. Another hair product. This is absolutely not natural at all. I mean, I've never even read the ingredients. I have no idea, but I'm assuming that, you know, nothing in here is would be, well, let's see. Yeah, I already just read something in here that says synthetic. So, but this is a complete empty, totally hit pan. This is the Color Wow Root Touch Up. So this is just a little powder that I probably need to use a little bit here, but you can touch up your roots for it. So as I'm sure you guys know, or I've talked about, is I do the root touch up to cover up my grays. I sort of toyed with the idea of letting my grays come in, but decided that that's not quite for me yet. So I do get my grays or my roots touched up, and when I'm sort of in that little transition zone before it's time to go into the salon, I do use the Color Wow powder, and it is awesome. I love it. It works really, really well. All right, so let's move on to face cleansers. I have 2 empties of the Laurel facial cleanser. This is for the normal to dry. Now, this unfortunately has been kind of a miss for me, and I'll tell you why. I have 2 bottles of it. So several years ago, I just fell in love with this product. Such a beautiful, like kind of creamy yet gel emulsifying cleanser. Really, really loved it. So I bought another one I don't know, a few months ago or so, and I noticed it was super, super thin, felt like a different formula. So I wrote them and said, you know, it seems like something's different, what's going on? And they said that they had used a different honey and that it was making it more thin, and they were gonna send me another one. So then I got another one, and it wasn't as thin as the first bottle that I got, but it still was thin. It was not what I had remembered in terms of that kind of thicker, sort of almost like a combination of an oil and a balm that I was just so in love with. And so, yeah, I don't know if the formula has changed, or I'm just not exactly sure what the deal was, but just not in love with the facial cleanser the Laurel facial cleanser as I was before. I don't know if I was remembering it differently or if it really has changed, or if there is just such a variance in the ingredients or the honey that was used, but I don't think I'll be buying this again anytime soon because I just didn't love it as much as I had. But one thing that I am absolutely in love with is Naturallogic's new cleanser called Flourishing. This is just so amazing. I don't want to talk about it too much because I would spend my whole video here gushing about it, but this is a foaming cleanser that is, and I feel like I've talked about it before, but I don't know, maybe I haven't. First of all, the scent is so unique. It's like at first, and I know I've mentioned that I don't really love cucumber, but when you first put it in the palm of your hands, it kind of has an initial cucumber hit, but then it like morphs into this beautiful vanilla scent, and it's like creamy, and it has a little bit of a clay texture, and then it foams, but not like in that crazy, you know, really like hyper sudsing foam. It's just a really gentle foam, and it cleanses so gently, so effectively, and it's just got such a unique texture that I just want all you guys to experience it. So I do have a code also for Naturallogic. Again, it's not an affiliate code, it's just for you guys to enjoy. And it's just got this really lovely light pink texture. I still do have a tiny little bit that I'm realizing, so I'm gonna not throw this in the recycling quite yet. I'm gonna go take this back into the shower with me and get out that last little tiny bit because I don't wanna waste any of it, but highly recommend Flourishing. It is really my new favorite foaming cleanser, super special, and I just think Tony, the founder and creator of Naturallogic, just does such incredible and innovative things with her creations, and I just, you know, I love Naturallogic. And this is the Siam Seas Morning Delight, and this was a gift that Marie from And the Color Green gave me, and so I was really thrilled to experience this. I originally, Supadra actually sent me some Morning Delight, the first iteration, which was much more floral, and I just fell in love with it. I thought it had jasmine sambac in it, but I think it was actually more plumeria. As I did more reading and had some discussions with people about it, I think it was plumeria, not so much the jasmine sambac, but regardless, I loved the first iteration of it. So when I first got it, I was kind of disappointed just because I loved the first one so much. But, and for those of you who did get this, you're probably aware that this it does have a very medicinal scent. To me, it smells like, if you ever take echinacea tincture drops, it kind of smells like that. I'm getting a little bit on my hand here because it's spilling out, just the little residual spilling out. So that's why I'm smelling my hand. So yeah, it does smell like an echinacea tincture to me, which does not bother me at all. I'm very used to that kind of herbally smell, and I don't mind medicinal smells at all in facial, you know, in skincare products. So this works beautifully. I loved it, and I would love to have this in the future. So I actually really liked this product. I think it got sort of plus minus reviews somewhat. I think maybe because of the smell. I really like it. I think it's a very effective oil cleanser that does rinse off, which I think people are really appreciating these days. And I really, really love it. I think it's a fantastic product. Now, another cleanser I want to talk about is actually the Ursa Major face wipes. I have had these for a really long time. 20 wipes come in this package. I think I've had these for, I don't know, I think it maybe even took me like a year and a half or 2 years to get through this whole thing, which tells you that I don't really use face wipes all that often, so I wouldn't buy these again. I think they worked pretty decently. I would say maybe like a 7 out of a 10 in terms of effectiveness, so today I have a full face of makeup on, and to get the mascara off and everything off, I would say, it gets about 70 to 80% of all the makeup off. And so I would still need to go in with another cleanse. So this would be sort of like a first cleanse to get some initial makeup off, and then I would have to go back in and
with another cleanser to get the rest of it off. So for those of you who like to use wipes, maybe at the gym, or I don't really know. I mean, however you use it, I wouldn't count on this alone to get off of a full face of makeup. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So do what you will with that information, but I personally will not be getting these again just because I didn't find that I used them that often. All right, and then the last cleanser I have here is the Moss Beurre Celeste. This is a balm cleanser. This came in the Boxwalla Beauty Box, and I am in love with it. This is a fantastic product, probably my favorite balm cleanser, and I loved it so much that I repurchased it. So this was gifted to me by the Boxwalla since I do reviews for them. But I repurchased it myself from the Boxwalla, and I like using it in a couple different ways. I like using it actually as a mask, so I'll put it on my face before getting in the shower just to kind of protect my skin from the heat, because I do like to take hot showers. And then I will, remove it after I'm done with the shower. And then of course I like using it as a cleanser, and it has just a beautiful honey smell. There's a little bit of cardamom in here. And yeah, as you can see, just completely gone, and I love it. And I'm going to manage my new jar a little bit better, try not to go through it as quickly as I did with this one. But yeah, I highly recommend it if you're looking for a balm cleanser. So I have a lot of toners to get through. As you guys know, I love toners. I love the experience of toners. For a while there, I was doing like the 7 skin method, and realized I was kind of getting, going through the toners a little bit too fast. So I've kind of modified it where I really like to use about 3 of the skins, use the mist about 3 times, and then maybe finish with usually either like a some kind of an essence or a, almost always a serum, something like that. So I just don't go through the toners so quickly anymore. But yeah, so let's move into the toners. The first one is the Patyka lifting lotion. I got this was also from that glam bag from Citrine. This is not one that I would get again. I did an initial, let's see, in one of my videos I did sort of like a get ready with me using only samples, and my initial thoughts on this were positive, but the more I used it, I did not end up liking the smell. It almost has sort of like a baby powder scent, so the smell for this ended up being a no-go for me. Another toner that's empty is the H is for Love Pollen Illuminating Mist. This is gorgeous. This is a beautiful toner. I'm not going to go into all the ingredients because I really need to get moving here, but this was given to me by Bergamot Beauty. Love Bergamot Beauty. Salwa, who is the owner of Bergamot, is just a fabulous, great person. So if you really want to be supporting, businesses that are, woman-owned and owned by great people and, stand by what they really believe in, then Bergamot is a business that is definitely for you. So anyway, and again, this is not sponsored in any way, and I don't have an affiliate link with Bergamot, but just want to help, support them. But anyway, Pollen is a fantastic product. Love H is for Love. I love this product, so I highly recommend this if you're looking for a toner that is just super high quality and made from really beautiful ingredients. This is the Primavera Hydrosol Mist. So this was given to me by so this is Mala Apothecary. The brand is not Primavera. The brand is Mala Apothecary, and this is their Primavera Hydrosol Mist. And so this is just made of pure organic distillate of orange blossom, and it has some lime in it. And this is just beautiful, just like summertime in a bottle. I'm not sure if she actually still has this on her website, but Monica of Mala Apothecary just always has such gorgeous products and like seasonal products. So if you frequent my channel at all, you know that I love her and I love what she creates. So you just always got to keep an eye on her Instagram. Actually, I highly recommend checking out her Instagram because she'll show what she's creating and or her website. And then another beautiful hydrosol is the Jasmine Sambach hydrosol from Roxana Illuminated Perfume. I also don't know if this is available, but if it is, I will definitely let you know. And this is just stunning, stunning, stunning. And then things that I wouldn't get in the future, this was actually, I got this in a swap with Lacey, who used to live in Portland. She doesn't live in Portland anymore. She moved to Alaska to do further her training in psychology, but she gave me this concentrated brightening essence. I didn't really think, anything too special about this actually. I like a lot of Tata's products, but this one didn't really do much, and I actually had to end up dumping it because it went bad before I could finish it. And then also I tried the Avene thermal water, and this was okay, but nothing amazing. I liked it, but I wouldn't get that again in the future. And then the Linstrom Jasmine Garden Mist, I thought it was okay. This was a sample from Beauty Habit, but didn't strike me as anything special, and it was just too overwhelming on the Jasmine Grandiflorum. That is not my favorite. All right, motoring on ahead. This is the Drunk Elephant C-Firma. I would not get this again. I thought it was okay, not over the top amazing like a lot of people say. I feel like I kind of liked it for a while, but then I just realized that in terms of vitamin C products, I do prefer the Arcona vitamin C serum that I use. And then I just really love what I have here is the Mala Apothecary Primavera Treatment Elixir, which I've talked about a million times, I feel like, on my channel. But I really love this stuff so much. So I would say no to the Drunk Elephant and yes to the Arcona, which is 20% L-ascorbic acid. And, if you kind of want that clinical vibe, and then if you want something more like handmade and 100% all natural and just really like small indie, one woman show, then I would go for the Primavera Treatment Elixir. But of course, these are all empty. And then this is from Alyssum Alchemy. This is their Rose Radiance Facial Nectar. Really love this a lot. I can't remember all the ingredients in here, but I believe rose hip oil was one of the major heavy hitters in here. Loved the scent, loved everything about it. I've just got so many oil serums going. It's not something I would repurchase anytime soon, but I did purchase it. I got it in a whole kit with her facial mist, which is also beautiful. And I got one of those rose quartz rollers in that kit, which is, I highly recommend that as a, holiday gift coming up. This is the Naturallogic Brightening Serum. I believe Tony's still working on this. I don't know if she's ever gonna, officially release this, but this is a vitamin C brightening serum from Tony. Really love this. So I will keep you posted if that ever comes out. This is the 12 Beauty Hydrate. I don't know if this is this is the Ideal Moisture Level Serum. This is Pedro's hyaluronic acid serum. Really like it. I don't know if I like it as much as the Activist hyaluronic acid serum though. And I still have that, so I'm using that. I don't feel like I need to buy any other hyaluronic acid serums. So I am good to go on that. I really like that. Not as much as the Activist though, I don't think. So, end of that story. And then this is the Tata Harper Resurfacing Serum. I really, really like this a lot. I wouldn't really call this a serum though necessarily. This is more like a lightweight lotion. Really liked it. Again though, I've got so many serums going and it wasn't like a total favorite. I mean, I just really enjoyed using it. I'm glad I got the chance to use it. And like I said, I enjoyed it while I was using it. I don't, whatever, I had it for like a week while I was traveling. I didn't notice any crazy results. So I'm sure it's amazingly expensive. So I don't feel the need to go out and buy it. So I'm just going to say that I enjoyed it while I used it. If you've got the money and you're really curious about it, I would say go for it. But if you're not in the market for anything like that, I wouldn't say that you're missing anything. All right, so now back on the Drunk Elephant thing. This is the B-Hydra Hydration Gel. Save your money. I don't know, personally, I didn't really think this did anything. It's an interesting concept, maybe, but I don't know. It didn't really do much for me. I think maybe if you have very oily skin and you want a very light moisturizer, this might be something you would be interested in, but I don't know. I guess like kind of one of those things where I was intrigued by Drunk Elephant, decided to go ahead and try pretty much the whole range. And now I've just kind of, the intrigue is over for me. And the only product really that I would see myself getting again is the TLC, the Framboos, the overnight serum. And that's because I really know for sure that my skin loves lactic acid, and that lactic acid, glycolic acid, I think it's tartaric acid, that's the trio in there. My skin really likes that. So that to me is worthwhile. But pretty much everything else that I have, I don't really need in my regimen, or I don't really like, not super impressed by. Moving on, the Audacity Time Release Delivery Cream. This was a Boxwalla pick. Really like this cream. So this is sort of like a hybrid between a lotion and a cream because it's in a pump, and this I thought was fantastic. I really enjoyed using this. I think if you're a little bit on the kind of the oilier side, or you want a cream that's not super heavy, that would be a great pick for you. All right, so let's move on to some sunscreens. This is the Suntegrity Natural Moisturizing Face Sunscreen and Primer. I did not like this. I think the texture is pretty good. It's just the scent. There's something going on with the scent that smells so synthetic to me, and it really lingers. And the packaging, I think, also is just terrible. This just feels really unnecessary to me, and I don't know. I feel like they could come up with some better packaging that would be more sustainable. I don't know. I don't like this packaging at all. So yeah, between the smell and the janky packaging, I just don't really like it. This is the Josh Rosebrook Nutrient Day Cream. This is the untinted, and I really love this day cream. I think it's fantastic, but the downside is that it's really hard to get out of the bottle once you've got maybe a third of it left or maybe a quarter of it left. It's just really hard to get out of the bottle. So what I did is I decided I didn't want to let go of it though, because I really do like the formula. So I decided to try the tinted. Now the tinted is a little bit thinner, and I knew that because I had a sample of it. So that's why I decided to give it a try. I've got my fingers crossed here that because it's thinner, that I'm not going to have that issue, and that even if I can't pump it out at the very end, that I'll just be able to get the cap off, just twist it off, and then I'll be able to pour it out easier, because you can't do that with this because it's pretty thick. So I also, I'll save my review of the tinted later, but I'm really loving the tinted, and I don't foresee having any issues with that. All right, so the last SPF product here to talk about is the Babo Super Shield Sports Stick SPF 50. I really love this, and it's completely gone. This has just been such a great product, so easy to use. I love the scent of it, and it's just like before I go for a quick run, it's just really easy to swipe on my cheekbones, on my upper lip. I'll also put it on my arms really quickly, and I can have it in the car, keep it in my bag. And I can't remember if I was having a hard time finding it this year or not, but I got it in a round tube, a tube stick shape. I wasn't quite able to find this exact shape, but a different shape, which is basically the same exact formula. So if you can't find this exact one, don't worry about it. Just try and find the Super Shield Sports Stick, and I highly recommend it. I love this stuff. Now we're gonna move on to eye treatments. This is the Kahina Eye Serum. You guys have heard me talk about this a lot. I use this all the time. I just wanted to address a comment. I can't remember if I saw this on somebody else's YouTube channel comments, but somebody was mentioning that too much of this comes out of the pump. Now that's not an issue for me because I usually use this in the morning, and so I want to use a pretty copious amount in the morning because I'm usually using it to combat my puffy eyes. So if I want a liberal amount because I kind of use it as a mask, so when I pump it out, that's the amount that I want, is what I'm trying to say. But if you feel like too much comes out, you just pump it out really slowly. So I don't know, you just gotta tinker with the amount of pressure that you use. I mean, maybe it's not ideal, but just go real slow. And I don't know, I find that this works really well for me. I really love it. And I also have been using it at nighttime as well. This is a little tiny sample of the Bottega Organica Redefine Eye Contour Serum. And I really like this as well. I really love the texture. It's not quite an oil. It's just sort of like a combination between an oil and a serum texture. So I really love this, and this would definitely be a product I would get in the future. It seems like it's sold out a lot on Pharmaca because I would want to get it on Pharmaca when they've got a discount going. So I'm in no big rush to get it, but that's definitely something I would get in the future, and you know, in a full size. And then again, I've got an empty of the 100% Pure Bright Eyes. These are masks that you put on. For me, I use it to decrease puffiness. And I know that other people like it for the hydration, you know, to deal with little fine lines. And I mean, it certainly helps with that as well, but I use it for the puffiness and it works really, really well for that. Moving along, I have a couple masks to talk about. This is really sad. Rest in peace, Blackstrap Molasses from Earthwise Beauty. This no longer exists. This was probably one of my favorite all-time masks. So really, really sad this is gone. I'm not going to talk too much about it except to say that it would be wonderful if Earthwise Beauty decided to bring this back. That's all I'm going to say. And then the Lena Hansen Global Face Trio. I love this. This is kind of, I mean, I'm putting this under the masks section, but for me, I use this as sort of like a boost. So it's a cleanser. It's a exfoliator and a mask. I guess I would say I used it in the exfoliator realm. So what I would like to do is, let's say for instance with the Beurre Celeste, let's say if I had the Beurre Celeste on my face as a mask and I'm taking my shower and I'm all done with my shower, what I would do is I would take the Global Face Trio, which I don't think, yeah, it's completely gone. So this is a powder. What I would do is I would take the Global Face Trio, and if I also had a toner handy at the shower, I would take a little scoop of the Global Face Trio, put some toner in it, and if I didn't have a toner, just a little bit of the water from the shower, make a little bit of a paste, rub it in my hands, and then pat that over whatever mask I have on my face, which would typically be in the shower, which would be like a balm, so usually a balm cleanser. And sometimes I would use it over even an oil cleanser, and then let that sit on for maybe just 30 seconds to a minute, and then slowly work that into my skin, and then let the shower water rinse it off. And I'm not kidding you, baby soft skin. Softer than after a facial, really softer than anything else. So this is definitely something I'm going to be replacing. It was given to me by Bergamot Beauty to try. Again, huge plug for Bergamot Beauty, love Bergamot Beauty. Not sponsored in any way, just check out Bergamot Beauty. I just want to end real quickly on my two favorite teas. For a long time I've told you guys that, you know, Numi Organic makes my favorite teas. Jasmine green tea has just been my favorite, and for a long, long time, and it still is my favorite. But I just wanted to mention that I'm also really loving their aged Earl Grey. This is so delicious. I really love it. I find it to be just so aromatic, and in a strange way, even though I drink it in the morning, I find it to be relaxing as well as obviously giving me a little bit of energy. But there's something about their black tea that is not too activating for me, because caffeine just really is typically just a little bit too much for me. But both of these are just lovely, like I said, very aromatic, and just the perfect way for me to start the day. So thank you for trooping out this video if you made it all the way to the end. And if you did, give me a thumbs up and let me know that you like this video. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And I will see you guys in that next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.